Hey, what's up guys? How's it going out there? Welcome back to my channel for another Black Clover video. Now, as you guys already know, because the date's already coming on, Black Clover Chapter 278 did not come out this past Sunday, January the 10th, but it should be coming out this upcoming Sunday, January the 17th. And since the chapter hasn't come out just yet, and since everyone else on the Black Clover side of YouTube has pretty much made their own theory videos talking about the upcoming chapter, and what's going to be coming up in the series later on, I thought it might be a fun idea to make my own theory video talking about, again, the upcoming chapter, Chapter 278. Now, real quick, I do want to be upfront and say that before making this video, I did watch 3 separate videos from 3 separate Black Clover YouTube channels talking about their theories of what's coming up in the next chapter and the future of this arc. And the reason why I watched those videos, and I want to say the channels I watched, were Unami, Roku, and Anime Falls Deep. That's the only one I'm actually 100% sure on the name of. But the reason why I watched those videos is because I wanted to make sure that none of the theories they mentioned in their videos actually overlapped with any of the theories I'm going to be mentioning in mine. Because I felt like that with all the YouTubers out there talking about Black Clover, throwing out pretty much the same theories over and over, if my theories matched up with any of theirs, I felt there was no point in actually making this video, so I just wasn't going to do it. But I'm happy to say that at least from the 3 videos I saw, none of the theories they came up with matched to anything I think the series is actually going towards. So I felt comfortable in making this video right here. Now, that's not to say that there isn't other YouTubers out there who talk about Black Clover who didn't come up with the same theories that I'm going to be mentioning in this video. Like I said, only watched those 3 channels and those 3 videos from their channels. So, again, if I end up coming up with something that someone else actually already said in a different video, full credit goes to them then, because they made the video before I did. But, like I said, I only watched those 3 videos, so I don't know. But anyway, getting into chapter 278, I feel like it's going to follow pretty much the same kind of sequence of events that chapter 277 did, and kind of 276 to an extent, where basically how in chapter 277, we started the chapter off with the first few pages dealing with the aftermath of the fight between Zeno and Yuno, and then we moved over to the fight between Charlotte and Real versus Vanica. I feel like we're going to get the same thing in this chapter with Charlotte and Real's fight being wrapped up, and then us moving over into the fight with Jack and Nacht fighting off against Dante. And then honestly, a majority of the chapter is going to deal with Jack fighting off against Dante pretty much solo. I think maybe Nacht might help a little bit, but he's not really going to be a big factor in this fight. It's mostly going to be Jack. And the reason why I think that is because it's pretty clear to me that Tabata is using the beginning of this actual invasion to kind of show off the new abilities and the power-ups that a lot of these main characters, mostly the captains, Yuno's case the vice captain, of their squads have basically gone through and gotten over the 6-month time skip. And he's obviously using these first 3 chapters to focus on the 3 characters who had the strongest will and desire to actually go into the Spade Kingdom and rescue William and Yami, obviously being Yuno wanted to rescue William, and Charlotte and Jack both wanted to go into the Spade Kingdom and desperately rescue Yami, as evident in that chapter. So with Yuno, we got his second Spirit Dive form, Spirit Dive Boreas. With Charlotte, we got her learning how to utilize her curse in combination with her actual magic to basically create a brand new transformation with her Briar Queen transformation. And we even had Mario Leona reveal her own transformation in chapter 274, Hellfire Incarnate. So it stands to reason that since the last 3 characters who had fights in this arc have had transformations, we could expect the same thing of Jack as well. But I think that we're actually going to be going a different route with this fight, and Tabata's not going to give Jack a transformation. But the reason why I think that Jack is not going to be getting a transformation is because of the fact that Tabata has set up very clearly that there are 5 major rivalries going on in the series, that being, of course, Asta and Yuno, Magna and Luck. We got Fugoyan with 2 rivalries going up against him and Nozel, and then him and Mario Leona, and then, of course, Jack and Yami. And with each of these sets of rivalries, whenever one character gets a feat or a power-up, the other character gets one as well. It's pretty obvious with Yuno and Asta. Whenever Asta gets a power-up, Yuno gets one as well. When Asta got his second sword, Yuno got Bell. When Asta unlocked his dark mode, the next fight we saw Yuno in after that, we saw his Spirit Dive form for the first time. And when Yuno got a boost in power from being one of the reincarnated elves, Asta also got a boost in power on his dark mode and gained his Black Divider. And because Asta's getting his Devil Union form, even though we haven't seen it just yet in the manga, Yuno also got a brand new Spirit Dive form. So you get pretty much what I'm saying. When it comes to these 2 rivals, whenever one gets a power-up, the other one gets one as well. And it's pretty much been the same thing for the other rivalries that we have in the series. Whenever Magna gets a power-up, Luck usually gets one as well. Even though Luck has always kind of stayed ahead of Magna when it comes to power, the 2 of them have always pretty much gotten power-ups and feats around the same time as each other. Same thing with Nozel and Fugoyan, and kind of with Fugoyan and Mario Leona, but with them it's more like whenever Mario Leona gets a feat, Fugoyan gets a power-up. But when it comes to Jack and Yami, the 2 of them have basically been more along the lines of Asta and Yuno than all the other rivalries in the series, because of the fact that we started out with the 2 of them first interactions, seeing that the 2 of them are very even in strength, although we definitely have seen more examples of Yami surpassing his limits and getting stronger throughout the series. But each time Tabata has shown the 2 of them fighting alongside each other or fighting similar level opponents, they've always seemed to be hand in hand when it comes to strength. And the rivalry between Jack and Yami really do resemble Asta and Yuno more than any of the other ones, because of the fact that similar to how whenever Asta gets a power up, Yuno gets a similar one. The same thing applies to Jack and Yami, because whenever Yami gets a brand new technique, Jack gets a brand new magic that his blades can cut through. And since Tabata's been pretty consistent with these two characters, giving them similar power-ups throughout the series, I feel like that since we did not see Yami throughout chapter 244 all the way to chapter 2, I want to say chapter 257 was the last chapter he fought against Dante solo before Asta joined back into the fight. Since we did not see him once use a transformation but only use a brand new Monozone technique and a brand new one-shot killer technique against Dante, I think the same is going to happen with Jack, where we're going to actually see Jack unlocking a brand new Monozone ability that we've never seen him use before, and when he gets near the end of the fight, we're going to see him use a brand new one-shot killer technique, just like how we saw Yuno use against Zeno in chapter 276, and how we saw Charlotte use against Vanica in chapter 277. Now, when it comes to Jack's Monozone, I gotta be honest with you guys, I have no earthly idea what that could even end up being. I have no idea, like, I can't even imagine what the body could really come up with for a Monozone for that character. And I've tried. I even tried doing some research on Jack the Ripper, the historical person, and trying to see if I could actually find any clues or ideas from the history and events from that person to see that if there's anything that the body could actually encompass into a Monozone technique. And I got nothing. The only thing I can say about Jack's Monozone is that in somehow, shape, or form, it has to negate Dante's gravitation magic, just like how Yami's did. But when it comes to his new technique, just like how Yami had his brand new Death Thrust that is supposed to be a one-shot kill technique, I think Jack is going to have something similar, but instead of a thrust, it's going to obviously be a slash, because that's what his character does, and is going to have the added effect of blocking healing abilities. Because if you go back to chapter 210, when him and Noelle are fighting off against Fauna, he mentions that he's getting close to being able to cut away at healing and recovery magic. So I think that now we're actually going to get to see him fight again for the first time since that fight. And this is when Tabata is going to finally reveal Jack's new ability that allows him to negate auto healing magic. And Dante is literally the perfect opponent for Jack to reveal this brand new technique with, because of the fact that Dante has flesh magic, and as we saw in chapter 257, even though Yami had completely blown up his entire upper torso, Dante was still able to stay alive because his flesh magic was able to auto kick in and heal his body and reconstitute him. So because of the fact that he has kind of an auto heal ability with his flesh magic, we could see Jack with his new auto healing, cutting, or disabling slash attack be able to block that ability and actually do some serious damage to Dante. And if you think about it, this actually makes a lot of sense for this to be the ability that Jack would have, because each of the Dark Triad members who have fought off against each of the captains have fallen because of the fact that the captain, or the vice captain with Yuno's case, has had a brand new ability that completely counteracts their main ability. Because, I mean, if you look back to the fight between Yuno and Zeno, Yuno was able to completely counteract all Zeno's abilities when it came to a spatial magic that allowed him to control mana in a certain space. Yuno was able to overwrite that because of the fact that he's loved by mana. And when it came to Zeno's bone magic, which was supposed to be high defense, Yuno was able to basically overpower that with his strong attack. And when you look at Vanica versus Charlotte, because of the fact that Charlotte's new ability allows her to absorb curse magic and curses from other people, and the stronger the curse, the more she absorbs and the stronger she gets. And because of the fact that the stronger her opponent is, the more and tighter her briars wrap around them, because of the fact that Vanica immediately went into her Dark Union mode as soon as she went to fight against Charlotte, she was immediately countered by Charlotte's abilities. And since the last two Dark Triad fights went down that way, where basically their abilities were countered by their opponent, the same thing's going to end up happening with Dante fighting off against Jack. So Jack obviously has to have some kind of brand new slash attack that will counter against Dante's healing abilities, and a Monozone that will counter against his gravitation magic. Now, that's what I think is going to end up happening for a majority of the chapter, because I don't actually think the chapter is going to end with Jack defeating Dante like how the last two chapters did. What I think is going to end up happening is that, and it's completely different from what everyone else thinks, because right now, from what I'm hearing, everyone else seems to think that by the end of this week's chapter, we're going to end up seeing that Nacht is going to show his true colors, and they think that Nacht is actually working with Lucifero, or working with some other devils in order to enact his own plan, which could end up being true. We could actually end up seeing, I don't think he's working with Lucifero, but I do think that Nacht has his own secret plan that he's not telling anybody about. It has something to do with the devil ritual that the Dark Triad is trying to enact, but I don't think we're going to get revealed to that just yet. What I think is going to end up happening is that basically the Dark Triad members are going to each get up, and we're going to get to see their second wind. Basically, we're just going to see a continuation of all the fights, just like how we thought when Mario Jonas first showed up and basically one-shotted that devil. We all thought it was down for the count, and then the next chapter it got back up and we continued to fight. The same thing's going to happen with the Dark Triad members, because there's no way that these three characters have been defeated this easily, especially since Tabata's been setting up for a while now that Vanica and Noelle are going to have a rematch, and Dante and Asta are going to have a rematch, and we have yet to see Zeno's union form. I doubt that the fights are going to be over just yet. Now, that's not to say that I think the captors are going to get defeated by any of the Dark Triad members. I think it's just going to come down to that they're going to get to a stalemate, and something's going to happen where they actually end up splitting from fighting off against the Dark Triad members and had to fight off against different opponents. I still personally think that more of the gates are going to get opened up, and we're going to see more devils coming out, and we're going to actually end up seeing each of the captains fighting off against different devils. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this theory video. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys thought about this theory, and any theories you guys have for what's going to be coming up in chapter 278 and the future chapters of this arc. Also, I cannot wait for chapter 278 to come out this Sunday. I'm so excited for it. I'm definitely going to be talking about, or at the very least, I'm going to look at the leaks when they come out either Wednesday night or Thursday, if they do end up coming out this week. Definitely look forward to a video for that. I can't talk right now. But that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop me a like, subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Comment down below your thoughts and theories, like I said, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.